Come on in. Hey, 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 hey. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. God has smiled on me. He's been so good to me. Come on in, y'all. I'm not gonna be with you guys long. Hey, Sharonda, what's going on? What's going on? I'm not gonna be with y'all long. I just wanted to come on tonight, be real quick, give you guys a little love, just a little bit, little bit. Yeah, come on in, hit the like button, hit the like button. So tonight, y'all, just wanted to just be real quick. Um, when you are sufficient and you have a purpose and you have a task at hand, and you tend to take value in the role that you play. Um, Others tend to want to mock and tease you about the purpose at hand. So, no matter the age, does not mean that you are wise. No matter your age, does that mean that you are mature. No matter your age, does not mean that you're any more knowledgeable than the next person. The old can learn from the young, just as much as we know the young can learn from the old. But what I do know is God will allow things to happen to where, in anyone's life, to where he will get the glory. I want you to know that God is a jealous God. God will allow anything to happen to any of us at any time. Good people, bad things happen to good people, just like bad things happen to bad people. And when we come up against trials in life, just as Job did in the Bible, I'm sure everyone knows about the story of Job. Job was tested the utmost. As we know, the devil asked for permission to test him to the fullest. His family, his riches, his health, and Job never cursed his name. He never went against God. And God gave him everything back double. Out here in YouTube, I have watched a lot of content creators have the ability to poke and prawn and misuse their platform, yet not knowing the advantage that they once may have. The part that I have always said is, we are so busy looking at the instant gratification rather than the long term. We miss the entire benefit of what we out here for. Absolutely, Sharonda. So, I say this, and I say this again. We, as women, colored women, black women, women of color, we have a sisterhood to each other, whether we want to believe it or not. And what is crippling is for our ancestors to have worked so hard to build that foundation, and yet we cannot build a structure on that foundation, is so devastating. What I see are women that are my age and younger, my age and older, that I can and cannot. It can go either way. You know what I mean? That are pitiful. They have no guidance, and I mean it. You really no guidance. Fools following fools. Really. And they think what they say matters. And they think that just because they can say some others, and it's supposed to make a difference, and it would make another person react. And it's saddening to think that that's the only weapon you have. It's really sad. That's all. That's the only thing that you have. When it could be used for something else more useful. That's as far as you can get. That's as far as you can go. That emoji is as far as you can go. It's sad. It can't be applied to anything else. But that's why people don't realize those that have good intentions will always be blessed. God is, he likes a delightful heart. He likes a peacekeeper. He likes to linger with those that are able to correct it. You know, like, I don't understand, like, when you have, you know, when you gotta eventually have room for correction. You know what I mean? I agree. I'm very disappointed in what you see on social media. It's a critical place, you guys. Even when I was getting my degree and we were talking about it psychologically, how no one has the social skills. No one has the ability to do anything outside of the actual social media. Like, it's immediately, like, it's nothing beyond that. It's really devastating. That, hey, Internet Glow, how are you? It's bad. And it's sad that it's crippling you. It's really sad. And yeah, it's sad. It's and I'm just like, it's sisterhood. Like, it's no, we everything that think about it. Like, these our ancestors. Think about how these we Shirley Chisholm, and they we worked to get this sisterhood. How they we went to church and you sat there, and how they wanted women to have these so many rights. And think about what's going on in the economy, how they taking abortions, and how women rights are being, everything that we are they work so hard for us to get. And just look around and look at the very things that they worked hard for, and we are doing it to each. It's sad. And for me, I have two daughters. I didn't but I and that's what I try to instill. My grandson is only one, but I'm grateful to my daughters that they both went to college, and they both are in a position where they're able to be productive women. They're they seen me, my mom, my grandmother, my aunts. They were able to see that. And just to know that, don't ever look down on someone for not having it. I always taught my kids, don't ever look down on someone for not having what you had, because you were blessed. Others may not have what you have, so you don't laugh at somebody for not having it. You don't pick on people for not looking a certain way. You don't, because your situation can change. When my kids were growing up, I always prayed, Lord, allow me to live long enough where I can raise my children, because I know the world will never love my kids the way I do. That's something I always feared. As a mother, I wanted to be here long enough to where I can instill in them what the love was. I have always raised my daughters, like when I raised them, when you leave my house, the world ain't gonna love you like I did. Being 16 and they sweet 16, the proms, and making sure they had their cars, and making sure I taught them how to be women, and making sure I exposed them about hygiene, and making sure I told them what it was to how to feel loved. And when questions about insecurities, I had those conversations with my kids, because we are so critical. And it's heartbreaking, because the way we do each other as adults. Imagine these children hearing it, growing up, and being exposed to it. Like, as a kid, we were children. We thought I grew up with women that we were always told how pretty we were. We were always told how to be pretty. My mom always made sure we had ribbons in our hair and pretty dresses, and we were putting on lip gloss, and we had the pocketbooks, and my kids were around that, and we would take them to be exposed to pretty. And like, when grown folks were around, we couldn't be around that. We didn't get to hear those conversations, because we wanted to be, we had the ability to be kids first and have that exposure later. You get what I'm saying? Like, I gotta let me plug my phone up, y'all. Sorry, telling me I'm going dead a little bit here. But it's heartbreaking, because mentally, and working in healthcare, is so much psychological damage going on. And I grew up with women are dominant in my family, and I grew up with a lot of dominant women. You know what I mean? Hi, how are you? And I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Sorry. Is it Shahonda? Red? Well, nice to meet you. You don't have to be in the bushes, but I'm glad. I'm in the bushes too sometimes. So thank you so much, and thank you for introducing yourself. It's my pleasure to meet you, and I'm honored that you are on my page. I am honored that you're here. But what I was saying was, it's heartbreaking, because having 2 daughters and growing up with my mother, my grandmother, and my aunts, I came from a family with predominantly women. To come on here and to see so many women tearing down women, and it's heartbreaking because our ancestors worked for us to be so strong and be so proud and, you know, proud and pretty women, and walk with our head high and shoulders, and not to be so, not so much of bold, and to be submissive, but to be known and be those women. But to, it's just sad. To sisterhood is where, even in my organization, that's what we do. We out here and we teaching these girls about being in a sisterhood. We teaching them how to be productive girls. We teaching them how, you know, how it is to cross your legs at the ankles, and we teaching them how, you know, it is to say yes ma'am and no ma'am. We teaching them how not so much to be, and see, people think, you know, you can be bad and bougie, and they say that like that's a bad thing, but it's okay for you to know the actual, to pronounce your names properly. But yet, if you want, you know, you can also, like I tell people, I can go to the liquor house and the White House. That's who I am. I can fit in both environments. And that's what I do with my children. Both of my kids went to college. But we can fit in anywhere. We from the, you know, that's how my mother raised us. I didn't raise my kids to look down on people for not having what you don't have. You got it to share. If my kids take lunch and you see somebody that wants some, you don't eat in front of people that don't have. Hey, and I'm going to use auntie. Hey, would you like some? Would you like some? No, thank you. You don't just be mean. Like, people growing up just to be mean. Like, where are the manners at, y'all? Like, what happened to the common courtesy? What happened to the being a lady? Like, am I out the loop? Like, where is this stuff at? I mean, really, is it cool to just be this way? And it's just, I look at this like, I mean, my grandmother, I have one passed away, you guys know. My mother's mother passed away a year ago. My dad's mother is still living. My grandmother, Ruby, is still living. She's 99 years old. She turned 99 in January. So I'm blessed to still have my grandmother here. And to see how she still lives and get around and walks and still, my grandma still fry chicken and lard. My grandma still go out there and pick her string beans out the garden. My grandma still tells me how old school, how to keep a garden, just in case. You know what I'm saying? My grandma still talks about those things just in case. Not that I want to have a garden, but she's saying just in case, granddaughter, just in case if you want to go out there and make you one, you'll know how to do it. Just in case. And it ain't that I'm above that, but she wants to know that I got that skill. And guess what? I got a dishwasher, but my grandma told me how to wash dishes and put a cap full of Clorox in it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Bee. But that's how my mother and grandmother raised us. You know what I'm saying? Just because you make good money, that don't mean you got to eat out every day. I go to the grocery store and put food in my freezer. I come home, throw food out and cook for my family. So I can be financially stable. Just because I'm the money, that don't mean I got to go buy Gucci. I can still go to Roses. That's right. Sheen. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm above that, but that's not how we do. We don't look down on people. We don't just pick and choose people and say, oh, that ain't how you do. My kids know better. I would chop their throat if you ever. Don't you dare. You know better. You know better. Thank you. Thank you so much, Auntie. But you know better. And I don't understand how it's gotten to this place. Thank you so much, Queen Bee. Thank you, guys. Hey, Aaliyah. I'm trying to speak to everybody. But that's just what it is. I grew up where we were growing up and we would say, hey Queen Bee, you look nice today. Hey, that looks good on you. Thank you. I grew up saying yes ma'am, no ma'am. I grew up when you seen a stranger, you would say, hello, how you doing? I grew up doing these things. You don't just walk up to people and tell you no. I don't get it. And that's why I say sometimes it gets to the place where just because I don't dislike a person, and this is I had a live on this a couple of maybe a few months ago. Just because your friend don't like a friend of mine don't like you, that don't mean I'm not gonna like you. I'm gonna get to know you for myself because I got my own mind. I don't follow people to hell. I got my own mind. I got my own mind. That's why, and I always say this, God is a jealous God. He has always been that way. God wants to be our only source. Only source. When you pray and you ask him to help us, wait on him. If you're giving it to him, give it to him. Wait on him for him to fix it. Why you keep going back and taking it from him? If you say, Lord, I need you, you need him, right? You done gave it to him, then wait for him to come into your life and do what it is that you asked him to do. He coming on his time, not yours. Patience is a virtue. Obedience. That's obedience. It is what it is. Hey, how are you, Miss Helen? How are you doing? And that's just how it is. See, sometimes when you see people acting out and acting a fool, they acting out because they need your fuel to act out. People act out because they need you to act out. It's true when they say folks can't argue by themselves. Folks, you ever seen a person sitting around arguing? If an argument start off and you argue back with them, they gonna keep going. But if you ever walk away, you notice the argument will stop because ain't nobody there listening to them. Same thing about a fuel fire. They only doing because somebody fueling them, somebody turning it up. So that's why I say it'll die out. That's why when I was telling on Rita, things like that fade away, like the old British night sneakers. You know how things will be a trend for a little while and then it goes away? British Nikes was an old school sneaker. It was a trend for just a moment. No one ever wears that shoe ever again. We wore it for a glimpse. I know I did. And we only wore it because somebody else was wearing it. We don't even wear British Nikes no more. Same thing about any other brand. Champion. Champion is a shoe that they used to sell at Walmart. No lie. Now, all of a sudden, Champion got expensive, and I think they were starting to sell it in like a name brand store. Champion became expensive, but we used to could get Champion for like $20 at Walmart. Somebody hyped it up, and now it became expensive. Champion used to be like a low-grade shoe. Yeah, Sharonda, for real, British Nikes. That's how it be. That be just like a fade. It will eventually go away. No offense to FUBU. Remember FUBU? It eventually fades away. Remember Baby Fat? Fat Farm. Fades away. It be a hype for a minute. But things that are authentic tends to last a little longer. Think about authentic things. Jordans. Been around for it. It's just an authentic brand that's made by Nike. Nike has been around for a long time. It tends to last a little longer. And that's what I say when things like that, these things are happening. I just, nothing offense to the brand, but I'm just trying to give some analogies of how things could be overly hyped. Overly hyped. And that's why I say when it comes to a sisterhood, no, you don't have to agree. But when you go and start doing things out of order, it will fall apart. You have to come on a solid foundation. You have to do things decent and in order. You have to do things in a unity. No one ever says that you have to agree. But you have to do things in decency and in order. I'm just saying. You don't have to acknowledge people that are being ignorant. You don't have to give. You do not. I don't. I don't. I don't. I'm just saying. I don't. It don't faze me. It don't at all. I'm just that person. I have been around long enough to where and this is no offense, I am used to getting attention. And the attention that I want, I know how to get it. The attention that I desire, I know how to get it, and I know where I want it from. If that makes sense. If you want some attention, the person that you want it from, you know how to get it from that person. For instance, if it's a man that I want and I'm interested in, I know how to go get him. Because I am going to zoom in and I'm going to study him long enough to where I know what he like, and I'm going to make up myself desirable unto him. Period. So therefore, that everything that he like, he's going to become desirable to me, so that I'm going to get his attention, and that way that we can lock in, and that's how it does. Other folks is doing, that ain't how that works. See, it comes with maturity and knowledge. Thank you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you, Auntie. And see, that's why you don't have to play that game. Hey, y'all, how you doing? You don't have to do that. You ain't got to move that way. And that's why I say when God has smiled on you, he has set you free of all that. You don't even think deceit. You don't even think of malice because it's not in your DNA. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. You don't even have the same mentality. And then they like, oh, okay. Nothing of that bothers you. Your character is different. You move into a different. How do they say you dance to a different drum? You're dancing to a whole different beat. That ain't my forte. That ain't my appetite. Absolutely. Thank you, Sharonda. Thank you. So that's why I say sometimes it's nothing. That ain't what I'm attracting. But for some reason, and that's why I say too, listen, I'm very family oriented, and that's why when people like you, of course, that's my mom, my dad, my daughter, my grandson, but yet this is what God gives to me. Those people that they have mentioning are not here. Why are you bothered by what they're saying when those people are not even here to hear it? Why does it bother you? They don't hear it, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. God gave me peace instantaneously. If they ain't hearing it, why does it bother you? I got it. I'll deal with that. I got it. And I said, Lord, I thank you. And I've been good since. I've been good since. Thank you, Queen B. Believe it or not, that was Deuteronomy was what I was going through when it started. I got Deuteronomy. And yes, thank you. That was one of my go-to scriptures. Because that's when I was talking about how it does hurt you, but he gave me peace. And I'm good. Thank you so much, Stitch. Thank you, guys. I get my glasses, y'all, from Zenny and Z Lou. So yes, thank you so much, y'all, for the compliments. I love you guys. I thank y'all for supporting me. I thank y'all for everything. I try to also make sure I come out every day because I did say I was gonna come back and be more out here in the opening. With the thing is, this is what we're trying. I'm trying to keep up with like my girls. Yep, it's me trying to fast and get these. Trying to be supportive of everybody's page. Walking in the afternoon and going to these meetings. So I try to make sure I get in and get with you guys. And then I try to make sure I have some material to make sure I have stuff to talk to you guys and, you know, have everything on the rocks with y'all too. So I always be encouraged. So it is what it is. So I just try to make sure I show my face and all that good stuff. So I want to make sure I keep my commitment to you as well. It don't matter what you are, baby. You still a child of the king. It's all good. It's all good. Hey Danny, can you pray for me? I can't hold on, it just went up the screen. I'm having a rough time at home. Sure, Danny. I sure can. Sally, she's friends. Yes. Somebody else said they would like Sally Jesse Raphael's. Sure, Sally. I will keep you in my prayers, honey. Absolutely. Don't matter what you are. No one has nowhere to put you. No matter what you are. You still a human. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You still somebody. Your sexuality don't matter. You somebody, honey. We don't have nowhere to put nobody, so that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter who you are as a person. Don't worry about that. All right, you guys, but I didn't want to keep you guys long, so I just wanted to make sure I touch bases with y'all and all that. Hey, Go, how are you? All right, I will definitely keep you in my prayers, y'all. And I will ask God to send your family comfort during this difficult time. You just got to stay encouraged, Sally. Keep you trusting in God because He is a way maker. You got to trust in God, okay? And you got to believe that He is what He is. You got to wait on Him. Have a good night, Auntie. Peace out, you guys, and stay encouraged. I love you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.